We are back for another unboxing. This time we're going to be talking about something that's actually pretty cool, which hopefully will be used for my kind of everyday activities for the iPad Pro specifically, but can be used for many other devices. So without further ado, we're going to be unboxing RavPower. I believe this is the newest edition, the 2019 version. So it has a whole bunch of stuff within this little piece of equipment here. So let's just go ahead and open it and see what comes in the box. So I like already how small it is. I mean, this box is really small, and for all the many things that this little thing can do, all being housed in a very small package is really, really awesome. All right, so you're greeted with, of course, the user guide, which I actually might use just because it has a lot of features within it. So here it is already, the RavPower. Now they do have different versions of them. Like I said, this should be the most recent one. Only other thing besides the actual RavPower bank, whatever you want to call it, thing in it is the actual charging cable. Ooh, right. So you have RavPower, you have a couple indicator lights here, which once activated and turned on, all of these will turn on, indicating certain things. So you have your battery power all the way over here on the right. Then you have if the SD card is either inserted or transferring stuff from the SD. You also have 5G, the wireless feature, as this does also work as a wireless hub. So let's say the most common thing that people will use as an example is if you're in a hotel or in a place that only has Ethernet connection. It's nice and covered here. You have all the ports accessible for Ethernet, charging, and then just a regular USB. And that's all nice and covered here, so it's very sleek, very minimal. On this other side, you'll have, I'm not entirely too sure what this button is, but it says 5G, so maybe if you use this as a power hub. Then you have your SD card slot here, as well as a SD to USB. Now this feature actually is pretty cool, as it can do something that if you don't have your laptop with you and you want to back up your SD card, let's say you're out shooting weddings, any sort of event, so you can have your SD card plugged in here. Then you have your external hard drive plugged in via the USB port, and you just press and hold, I believe it's this button, the SD to USB, press and hold for a little bit until the two indicators flash up, and that means that anything on your SD card is automatically backed up and saved on your external hard drive. So it's a neat feature, especially if you want to just go very minimal and only bring, let's say, an iPad, which brings me to the whole point of this video and why I bought the RavPower, is I want to be able to edit on the go just using my iPad Pro. Now, some of the things and downsides of only editing on the iPad Pro, obviously there's a lot of limitations compared to using Premiere Pro or Final Cut on a laptop or computer, but the iPad Pro is right there. It's right underneath on like very useful tools for editing or photo editing. Now, obviously one of the downsides of the iPad Pro is you don't have the ability to just connect a USB-C external hard drive or even a USB with converters, all that stuff, and be able to access things on your hard drive. So again, that's where RavPower comes in. These are all the features of the RavPower. So it serves as a file hub, wireless file sharing, media player, a one key backup, so like I said, from the SD to hard drive easily with one button, in-app camera, I didn't know that, and let's see, as a travel router, so you have AP mode, so plug in directly with an Ethernet, and then you have a wireless signal. Bridge mode, so no more payment for multiple network connections. Very cool. You also have router mode, so it works as a regular router, but just in a smaller size. You also have 5G network, and then again, as I mentioned before, as a power bank, which has a 6700 milliamp capacity. It's a good 2 charges on any smartphone that's out in the market right now. You got the 2 indicators here signifying that it is connected to the Wi-Fi. And one of the first tests that asks you is to put an SD card. So to test this out, I'm actually using my B cam up here, the SD card, because the battery actually just died on me. So I took out the SD card from here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here and see if I can pull it up on the iPad. Okay, so it's signifying right there, the SD card is lit. And I don't mean that in a cool, hip way, but it's literally lit. That right there is the information on the SD. Okay, so now we're gonna just go click on File Management. So this is my B cam is a Canon. It's my old one, the Canon EOS M5. And one of the folders that it automatically generates is it's a share and a DCIM. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the DCIM. Go by the date. So we'll do, that's not the right one. Folder is empty. Okay, that kind of freaked me out a little. I thought it didn't save. Okay, so it's this last one right here. The MVI_9014 MP4. That is actually the B-roll of the beginning of this video. So I can go ahead and click on it. And sure enough, it shows up right away. It starts playing automatically when it has, when it's like kind of buffered and loaded a bit more. So within at the bottom, actually something that I noticed is you have options for whatever's on the SD card as well as what's on your iPad. So you can kind of go back and forth to see what files you have on the iPad versus the actual RavPower. So here, I wonder if I can like press and hold. You have options at the bottom here that say copy to, delete, share, or more. So if I were to say more, you have rename or play via third application. So I think it could stream onto, let's say, an Apple TV or something, some kind of device to showcase on a bigger screen. So let's go ahead and say copy to, and right away you have internal storage, which is iPad photos or documents. I guess let's do iPad photos. Yes, access to that, paste. A little under 4 gigabytes worth of information, that video. So we're gonna let that roll for a little bit, and then we'll continue with the video. So using the RavPower File Hub, I was able to transport the video file of my B cam, which is the Canon EOS M5, directly to my iPad Pro 11-inch. Now what that one actually took longer, that was about 4 gigabytes worth of a file, versus my Sony a7 III. That one's shooting in 4K at 24 frames per second, and that one took a significantly less time. Now, looking back, I kind of wish I timed both of them just to see how long it actually took. The 4K file was less than 3 gigabytes. So again, that's really, I was really surprised as far as how big of a difference it was, but it works for both Canon and Sony, no problem. The only difference is that for the Sony camera to actually reach the actual video file, the file path was a little bit harder and trickier. A lot of the files I would go to would say like nothing in file, nothing is here, so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. So it's a little bit hard, a little bit trickier, more folders to go through to actually find the video files that you just took on your Sony. So using the app, the Rav File Hub, you can import things directly to your iPad storage. You're able to have like a double view window of what's inside the SD card and what you have on your iPad. So it's pretty flawless. I liked it a lot. I think the only downside is that it does take a little bit longer than I think your typical normal if you use it on the laptop. But again, this is minimal, no wires needed. It's very awesome. So I'm super excited to use the RavPower. If you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to comment down below. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal for, oh man, I think I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this summer. So by August 1st, fingers crossed, reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you could please share, and I will see you guys next time, and you guys have a great day.